Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to do this.
Well done.
Thank you.
Well, we're here at Block Conscious, and we were super excited. Unfortunately, we don't have all the women that we wanted to have here, but we've got a pretty juicy, gorgeous bunch. And we were really, really excited to make sure that we spoke to all the women who were here speaking, participating, contributing at Block Conscious, because it's about bringing consciousness and blockchain projects together. And you cannot do that without women.
That's right.
So let's do a little intro. Hi, my name's Abiti. Let's just pop, everyone just pop up and speak.
We do want to hand the mic to
Spontaneously. I think I'll just hold it in the middle so we
Okay.
don't.
Hi, I'm Karen, and I'm from the Blockchain Centre.
And I'm Lisa, on behalf of the Self Love Sisters.
I'm JP, troublemaker at large.
I'm Aviti and I'm part of Crypto Clothesline and also Crypto and Kids.
My name's Jo and I work on a new project called Dollar.
I'm Amy Rose and I'm from all those sides.
I'm Kelly Slattery, the other half of the Self Love Sisters.
Yeah!
Should be sitting together.
I thought it was good to be spread out. Yeah.
We're sharing the love.
Yes.
We're sharing the self-love. So tell me, how has it been for you here as a woman at Block Conscious?
I'll start. It has been fantastic. I just mentioned earlier, like coming up to the event, I was thinking what to wear in a Block Conscious environment. Knew it was going to be a long day, so I had my sneakers on, but packed my high heels for when I was ready to present. Turned out I didn't bother going with the high heels because I was just so comfortable in this space, which is something that I didn't expect. Yeah.
I found it, I was a little nervous. This has been my first I'm fairly new to the crypto space, so I've only been working for about 6 months. So I was a little nervous, because I'm still learning a lot of things as well. But meeting you ladies here has been like a blanket, like a warm blanket if I can't describe it any other way.
Beautiful.
It's just, although a lot of the men have been amazing also, it just felt like a nice connection, someone where you can relax, share your fears and your projects and things like that, feel safe and comfortable.
It's about community, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Well, what I'd like to say is what I've noticed is the sort of elevation of perspective and energy that the collective of women that are here have brought, because it is deeply technical and we're in a very sort of engineering phase, and all of us are bringing it back to the human factor almost universally, and that has just been beautiful for me.
I just wanted to mention the Italian dinner party. It's a code word. Speak up.
Yes, and kind of what JP was saying here, because what we feel outside of here is that blockchain and cryptocurrency is very male dominated, and the statistics back that. What I found with us being here as a collective is that it has softened the environment, and I think being able to take that out into the world confidently is going to be quite awesome for us. Yeah.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. I think being a woman in this space, and we're all relatively new, right? So we're afraid to sound afraid to sound stupid. We're afraid to sound, like we don't know. We don't have to up-one each other. And what's been beautiful in these panels and in these female-led discussions is the touch of humanity over technology. So it's the overlay of feelings and emotions whilst understanding the technology, but not having to prove that we know the technology. And I think that's what I really got from you wonderful, supportive women in this space.
Yeah, one of the things that I noticed was a sense, like when we were in the panel, I was listening to these really beautiful responses, and it's not taking anything away from the responses, but some of them felt really highly in the intellectual realm, like they were really based in logic, and it was really clear that it was sort of academic conversations. And I was feeling this little hammer of self-attack in my own, conditioned female brain going, oh, what can I say that's really clever? And I went, nah, conversation with self.
Yes.
I was like, no, just whatever is real, whatever's good, whatever's real, because it's fine, just the way it is.
Yes. Yeah. Can I throw in a quote, and it's not demeaning or anything, but there's a quote that says, to teach a man is to teach a man. To teach a woman is to teach a generation. And I think that is what I feel about cryptocurrency, and especially what you're doing with children. We can go out there and teach a generation. And I don't know if it's that men keep it to themselves, but it's that we are powerful, is what it is. Yeah.
I think, thanks for because as soon as you said education, I got really excited, as you know. But I feel like there's a gap, and I feel if we don't educate women, there's going to be a lack of women in the space. If we don't make a soft space for women to land at every event, on every broadcast, that we are going to miss out on sharing this information. And I think that if each of us can go out and be educators ourselves, every single one of us women, and I don't know, not MLM it, but just like, hey, guess what, girlfriend? Here's something amazing. And I think that's what is happening at this event. Like, I looked in the audience and it felt like it was like 50-50 when we were watching that amazing Garrett. I just look back and I'm like,
the guy with the mug.
This is really interesting. But I saw I was really excited about that and the education.
Should we talk a bit more about Garrett? I think there's a really interesting word. Burn, maybe burn. Crypto and burn.
I was imagining him like building me a house with an axe, like going out and chopping like some wood down for me, and I'm like, yeah, I'll have a bedroom over there. Okay.
I'll just have to sit. But what I think is really important to bring to mind, and we were having this awesome conversation with Anouk from Blockchain Center as well, Anouk Pinchetti, depending on, is that we're not anti-men. We love what the men are doing, and there's a place for men too, but there's a place for women, and it's not about us versus them. It's not about fragmentation and that whole war of the sexes. Not at all. It's just like, we're here, and we want to make sure that more women are actually aware that this is really important that they listen up to, because culturally speaking, and in terms of our conditioning, we go, me,
That's right.
the tech is boring, or it's just some new crap in the media, or whatever, the exposure to that mass media and that understanding that, whatever, I'm just going to get on with my super busy day and all the hats that we wear, that we actually need to sit up, listen, and actually be part of it, because it's that apathy that we spoke about last night in the panel as well, that who gives a fuckerism, that is actually going to be our undoing again.
Yeah, actually, I would say we're in the moment of stepping into our leadership.
Yes.
This is really where we stand in the light that we are.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Like for us, and I'm going to speak on behalf of Lisa, but we see a shift in energy globally where the feminine is rising to balance the masculine. It's not about overtaking, it's not about undoing anything, but it's shifting into a new energy where we're balanced and can move forward together and build this beautiful, harmonious environment that we can work together in. And that's, exciting stuff.
I think the balance is really important, because I think, only 8% of crypto buyers are women, and that's this year. Last year was only 3%, so that we're seeing a big shift. And I think being around these projects, being a woman and bringing in operational and HR and all those other things while they're thinking about technology and ideas, you can really balance some of these opportunities by bringing good business skills and bringing a softer thought and bringing an opportunity to sell these things to the other side of the market, which they're not thinking about. So we really are balancing it out.
And there was an interesting perspective shared about how the women are the decision makers with money in the household. So really, we need to know about this stuff because we're the ones making those decisions.
Especially in light of the fact that with cryptocurrency, like with the clothesline, there were 3 basic myths that we wanted to smash, and one that was you had to be, sorry, I wasn't doing that. One that you had to be
Totally doing it.
2 that you had to be a tech head, and 3 that you had to be loaded. And so that picked pretty much, anyone in that category in the current, so
Almost.
Manifest
it, baby.
And so that was part of the ethos behind wanting to bring this, and we wanted to create this chatty atmosphere because we actually want women to have a good time and you know, just be themselves. It's not about listening to highly technical stuff and going, oh, I can't get my head around this.
One thing I've really noticed about, you know, the cryptocurrency and blockchain space is it's incredibly welcoming. Not just for men, but for women as well. And the minute you cross that line and you become a believer and an understander, you're part of it.
Yes.
So I think it's just sometimes it's our own fear or our own inability to bring more women into the space because, yeah, we all have a responsibility. Bring our friends, tell them the stories, open their eyes. I love it when I go to a party and they go, what do you mean, you mine Bitcoin? What does that mean? You create it? Like, yeah, there's so much we can share and then talking about the conscious level and talking about the responsibilities. You know, it's such an amazing journey that we have a responsibility once we're in it to roll it.
Yes. Yes.
And what about the fact that, okay, this particular conference is very heavily biased towards cryptocurrencies, which on that note, in terms of the family budget, if women just get to know that they can buy a fraction, you can buy like $20 worth, you can buy $100 worth, you don't have to, you know, you don't have to be a millionaire to get into it. But on the other hand, what about all the amazing humanitarian, heartfelt, heart-centered projects which have, you know, 2/5 of bugger all necessarily to do with crypto? Comments?
Well, I was actually speaking to Jo last night. Jo has, I'll just introduce it a little bit, but you, single mum, how to your own business, $1,000 of your profits had to go to paying a bank.
Correct.
You know, so I think I'd love for you to share, like,
In terms of bank fees?
In terms of bank fees, it disappeared from your profits. And
Absolutely, yeah.
Can you talk a little bit
Sure,
about
yeah. I've had small businesses, a couple. Most recent, you know, turnover wasn't massive and margins are very small, you know. And on the first of every month, you check your bank account the next day and at least $1,000 would have come out in merchant fees, which is, I guess, one of the reasons why I'm passionate about the project that I'm working for. Is because we're, you know, one of our things is 1 cent transactions. So that $1,000 a month that I was paying, you know, which was a big deal for me at the time.
It was family money.
Yeah,
It's a big deal for me right now.
your children?
And that was just a small business, you know. That would have been reduced to a maximum of maybe $50, you know, which is such a high impact when you're just sort of scraping by to support your family as it is. So that, I guess, is one of the reasons why I'm quite passionate about the project.
And crypto, and I just wanted to bring awareness that if we can get women to share their projects and like, because there needs to be more women in projects. I'm just going to put that out there so that they're on board and they can share with their friends and family why it's changing the world, you know.
But what about projects like Karma Pay?
Yeah.
And so that's a gorgeous man called Pete Wynn, and he has created this app that you can. Well, it's in
Development.
It's in development, but they're also testing it out at certain cafes and things. But there's an app that you can download, and at participating merchants, when you go to pay for a coffee, the bank fees, instead of going to the bankers, so I'm going to use a W in there, they go to Karma Pay, and they go to Karma Pay, and then Karma Pay redirects a portion of those fees to charities in alignment with their values that are building schools in developing countries. Now, who doesn't want to help develop a school in a developing country with money that you would have spent anyway? Well,
I also really want to congratulate you on your presentation yesterday about teaching kids about crypto, because I think to your point about training, you know, my son, he loves to talk about cryptocurrency, but now I'm going to go home and get him a digital wallet and he's going to get pocket money in crypto, because I just think that's fantastic. Because he'll learn about, you know, where that money can go and what it can do, and we're educating a whole nother level of, and they'll grow up thinking that this is normal, like cryptocurrency, it's just a normal currency, and I love that you guys are doing that.
Well, it's such an interesting universal thing too, because we spoke to Alexandra Tinsman of NEM in North America, and she said that her 13-year-old just decided, he did all this research, he got himself some crypto, he sold out in the height of the boom, and then he put himself through coding classes.
Wow.
And teaching other kids similar things. So it is a collective, and it's like, you don't think that the problems you're experiencing, other women are experiencing. But then when you actually talk about it, you realise that everyone has got a similar pain point. That's why people can sell shit to us.
And talking about children and the next generation rising up, well, I've got 2 grandchildren, 6 and 4.
What?
And and so my both of them have an Exodus wallet, and both of them have cryptocurrency in it. So one of the things Kelly and I love to say to women and about budgeting is dollar cost averaging. How every week you can just, it doesn't matter where the market is, you just buy in at that market, and if their mother continues to buy in at that market for them, that's right. You know, by the time they even understand what money is, they've got already a foot in the door, so to say, a step up.
Well, they're at 100. There's this really cool thing that says, what do grandparents and why do grandparents and grandchildren have such a great relationship? Because they've got a common enemy. But when you've got teenagers, it makes sense. It makes dollars.
Well, something that's beautiful, you know, carrying forward from what you said, is that for me, I'm way more into underlying blockchain technology and its potentials for the world, but I'm very appreciative of crypto being the lead. And the thing about crypto, and with young people as well, is you can't get into the space without asking the question, what is money? And that's the red pill. And you can escape this cultural overlay that sits so heavily on so many of us, because you can't go down this rabbit hole without asking that question. And even if you're, you know, 15 or 16 or 10, you will ask that question at some point.
Can you explain the concept of the red pill, JP?
Oh yes, for those people who no, she's asking me. Unless you want to do it. So in the movie The Matrix, the option is given to the hero whether to take the blue pill, which would keep him in the illusion in which he presently lives, which is a completely controlled environment, very safe, very secure, very convenient, very deadening.
We know that.
Or in the other hand was the red pill, which is the truth. May not be pretty, but you get to be who you are and embrace your own gifts. So he's given the choice, you know, comfort and security or freedom. Which one do you want? So the red pill is that.
That's become a bit of a symbol in this conference, hasn't it? People talk about the red pill and the waking up of consciousness, and if we continue just to keep doing what we're doing, something has to break, right? So we have to wake up.
We're at a potentially an extinction level moment for the species, and this is why I too am passionate for women, for the human to come forward, because as Garrett said this morning, we can be most appreciative that technology has gotten us to the place where we are. It comes with a great number of blessings, and we're standing on the shoulders of giants, right? And this interconnected world has been made possible by that. But it's also kind of come to the end of its cycle, and it's starting to now siphon from the world more than it gives back. And we could actually be allowing the overtaking of what I call a stupid virus. A stupid virus is one that kills the host, right? So you don't want that. We need some healing to occur at this point. So we're at this moment, and when we step into our leadership, what we care about, and return to our hearts, we have the option to turn the ship around. And I think it will take all of us, men and women, to do that.
Yes. What I'm really excited about is how, as women, because like it or not, we're at the head of the family in many ways. And for me, when I got into the space, I was like, it's not just about cryptocurrency. It's not just about blockchain. It's actually bringing my daughter into the awareness, not just about money, but about technology and having control over the technology that will rule her life. She's 7, so we've started doing Python coding with this tutor girl online, like all the time, and we're learning together as a mum and daughter about technology, because I've never done programming. I've never women are very good at language, we're very good at speaking. So as programmers, as developers, we can actually do a really good job. And if we're perfectionists, we might actually do better than some of the programmers that are out there at the moment.
There was a Node Girls gathering in Perth recently. Sellout. Complete sellout for JavaScript training.
Oh my god.
It was awesome.
And
to
how
see.
old are the girls?
Everybody. I mean, it was all ages. It was just all women.
Yeah.
And they came in for a full day Saturday to go from HTML to JavaScript. It was fabulous.
Wow.
Yeah, amazing.
Closing comments. What have we got to say in terms of where we're heading and how do we feel about things?
Feeling absolutely positive. I think being here this weekend has taken certainly Lisa and I to a new level of not that we weren't authentic, but being more bold in speaking about consciousness and crypto and just having those two worlds merge. And that's what we talk about in our book, but we kind of hide it under a little bushel a bit.
Can you say the title of your book?
Our book is called Love and Money, Embracing the New Economy.
That's all right, but do you want to finish?
It's, yeah, I think in wrapping up, certainly giving us the confidence to move forward and like in this forum, stepping out and really, actually not even the confidence, but the obligation to share this with you.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is my first conference summit gathering with like-minded crypto and blockchain people, and I'm pleasantly surprised because all I heard was it was a bit of a, I'm not going to say rude words, but it wasn't very pleasant for women apparently in different conferences, blockchain crypto. So I'm really, really happy, and I feel like we're trendsetters.
Yes.
I went home last night and absolutely exhausted, you know, obviously as we all are. It's been a full-on experience, but I still couldn't get straight to sleep because I was super excited about the experiences I've already had and really motivated to move forward. I want to educate myself more. I'm so excited to educate my daughters as well, you know, just the little things. But also I was coming here more so expecting a real money-focused summit and to experience different talks about environmental issues and, you know, things that we can help in other areas to make the world a better place moving forward has really been heartwarming as well.
I want to thank the Circle of Women for making it so awesome, and yeah, I just want to encourage us to keep talking and not worry if we're going to sound not as smart as some of these tech head men. We just got to keep bringing it to the people and making it real. And I just, yeah, like I get upset when people say I'm avoiding that conference because it was less than 50% women speakers, but that's actually adding to the problem. Let's just keep putting our hands up, let's just keep speaking. And not speaking at a conference in a couple of weeks, and he said, oh, I need a woman. I said, let me come with you. You know, let me, you'll say all the really techie stuff and I'll make it sound like simple, and we'll work together and we'll be a really good team.
You're the translator.
Yeah, so as scary as it's been to get up and speak, it's taken me a year nearly to be able to do it. Let's all just keep doing it,
Yeah, so mine, it's probably along the lines of yours, is that I think one of the greatest gifts that we have as women is that we are normal. And
they're not. We're the standard.
Yeah. But that's what I meant. How are people that are really techie and really, not that they're corporate, but they've got that feel about them, supposed to get to the people down here? You know what I mean? And we're the bridge. We're the bridge between that world and this world, and block consciousness, bringing that together, just kind of sums up exactly what women do for the world. Yeah. I'm very passionate about women.
And I would say that women open consciousness.
Yes, see? Yes.
Unblock. We're here to unblock consciousness.
Yes. Love it. love it.
So what I would say is, well, first of all, as an outsider, we got someone entering now. Okay. As someone who's coming into Australia from outside. Hello?
Oh, come on in. Come in. We just stand here.
Yes.
The women, it's all about women.
Yes,
Yes,
it's a
yes.
women's session, so
You have to be a woman to come in.
No, it's cool.
it's cool.
Oh, you're welcome.
Close out.
Right,
All right,
sorry,
so
you
where
were
was
saying.
I? All right, so yeah, so coming in, I came in from Bali, and I wasn't expecting to find what I found in Australia in this space. I walked into a party, a charity fundraiser on the West Coast, and there were 450 people at it, and this electric energy, which is just wonderful. And now as I've come across to the other side of the country, I'm confirmed in my assessment initially that something extremely special is going on here. So that uniqueness of this conference, I think also is pretty uniquely Australian in my experience so far in the industry. There is something very amazing happening here. And I'm really delighted to see the welcoming, including women, and the inclusiveness of this community in general. So I just want to reflect on that and celebrate all of you for holding what you are holding.
And
Story.
everyone at the conference.
And what?
Everyone at the conference has just been amazing.
Yes, we have. So.
Would you like to comment?
I just hop in here.
Just tell us how you're feeling being at the conference. Cameron's there.
Mic up.
Well, hello, I'm Ling. Well, it's certainly an experience here. I'm also a crew as well. And I don't really know much about cryptocurrency, but over here I get to know a lot of that hard stuff and, and the soft stuff. And also got to think about how I'm going to explore into this cryptocurrency or blockchain. The area I'm most interested in is how we can remain anonymous, because over here in Australia everything is, is screened by the government, even the banking and the tax. So for myself, I have concerns in that I don't like to be traced. I don't want to be tracked. So I've been trying to discover how to do it anonymously. Just like Satoshi Nakamoto, he opened his account without nobody knowing who he is, and he goes so huge to that, and everybody just know, okay, this guy is well known, but nobody knows him. And then there is even a financial institution called the Living Room of Satoshi, which they do a lot of shopping and stuff through their banking system. And I got to find out that, okay, they're also connected to the bank. It also can be traced. So that is also another concern. Okay, I'm not interested in doing that. So and I also found out that Digital Church, which is the platform for the a bit like exchange like the Binance, and I found out that they actually are able to open in Australia. Only the Australian government only allowed them to open there only within the local market, not international market. Yeah. And so immediately I think, oh no, I don't want to not actually wanted to get involved, because you get back into tracing back to me. And then I found out from another guy, his name is Kosh Pratt. I think you guys learned from him. So I got to know Kosh many months ago at another one of these blockchain meetup. And I got into a conversation with him on how to open an anonymous account. I was very interested in it. And that time, because the time frame was very brief, so we didn't get into a long conversation. But yesterday, I got him to teach me how to do it. So at some point, I'll get in contact with him and get to do it. So because this is an area where everybody will be very interested in, because we don't want the government seeing what we are doing. Yeah. So
Thank you, Ling.
Thank you, Ling.
Would you like to comment, Alvin? How's it been for you being at the
conference?
Oh, it's been awesome. It's been a real eye-opener, and it's amazing what you don't know, you don't know. And the more you become aware of what you don't know, it's amazing, you know, how much you discover. So it's been a real eye-opener. It's been fantastic to be at an event where so many people are becoming more aware and aren't just living the brainwashed world, robotic world that we have people living out there, and are actually stepping outside the square and doing things differently. And I think it's about time, and the more awareness we can get out about this kind of stuff, about cryptocurrencies, about actually taking control of our finances so that people don't get ripped off so much by the traditional banking system and by governments, and around health, what you mentioned earlier about vaccinations, that is massive. It's amazing how many side effects are now coming out with kids that are getting vaccinated, being forced to vaccinate here in Australia. I think it's absolutely disgusting. And
pro-choice.
And yes, I think absolutely. And there are apparently homeopathic vaccinations that are okay. Apparently there's some vaccinations that are okay for people that aren't into vaccinations. However, a lot of the mainstream vaccinations, as far as I'm aware, are very poisonous and very harmful. And I've got some friends from Real News Australia actually that are doing a documentary about the side effects of some of the traditional vaccinations that are out there. And you know, kids that were very normal turned very abnormal as soon as they have their vaccination. So there's a lot of evidence out there that a lot of the vaccinations are not working and are actually dumbing down our kids. And it's scary. It's actually scary what's out there. However, with awareness and do your own research, don't believe what we're saying here. Always encourage people to do your own research and don't just follow the mass media agenda.
Yeah. So in terms of block conscious and being a woman present at this space, you've had a role of being media and taking photographs, and you're recording. Yes. So you've got a vastly powerful communication, but you haven't said anything yet. So it's been really awesome to hear your words. Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah, I've been behind the scenes. I've been doing a few Facebook Lives, and we had a mention on Triple Z today, which is awesome. So alternative radio, community radio, mentioned the Block Conscious event today, and I'm going to be doing a live stream from Tech Webcast, which is a show that I co-host with 3 other guys. I'm going to do a live stream through Tech Webcast today, so I'd love to interview you guys for that. Do something soon, and really it is about increasing awareness, increasing knowledge, so that people can make informed choices and not just be brainwashed by the government agendas and, you know, like things like 9/11. Like, I was absolutely shocked when I looked into what actually happened with 9/11. The number of times we saw those planes go into those buildings, and then to do a bit more research and discover footage that was never shown in mainstream media, and to actually consider that that was an inside job. And a lot of people don't want to believe that it's an inside job, that the American government would do that to its own people, and cover it with a whole lot of lies. You know, I was absolutely flabbergasted. And as soon as I saw that, and again, don't take my word for it, go do your own research. You know, as soon as I saw that, I started to open my eyes to other things like chemtrails and there's just so much out there. Microchipping, you know, they're really wanting to take control of our minds, our bodies. They don't want people to step outside the square, to expand their consciousness. They want people, as David Icke said with an interview that I did with him on Truth Expose TV, one of my shows, he said what's happening now is truth vibrations. A lot of people are living this postage stamp view of normal, what they consider normal, and the powers that be, the few that control the world, want us to believe that we are small and that we can't actually create change. Whereas if the 10% who are expressing their full creativity and are stepping out of the square, if they actually make a stand, they will have a ripple effect on the other 90% who are perhaps brainwashed and don't realise they're being brainwashed. Yeah. So I can talk a lot on this topic. And I think it's really important to just do your research, and thank goodness for the new media out there now, that people are actually creating their own media, and hence there's more truth coming out now. So it's very powerful, and what you guys are doing is great too. So great to see so many women in the crypto space. Thank you for having me on. You're very welcome. Thank you. Right, well, I'm going to have my turn. I'll keep it brief, but I wanted to say, and it was reiterating what was said in the Crypto and Kids presentation, that I feel like by getting the information through to women, not only are we affecting family household budgets and letting that small trickle feed of redirection of funds happen, and therefore potentially, no promises, but potentially empowering families financially, future-proofing families for the future, whatever. You know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
But also that through that, because we love to chat, because we like to communicate, because we have circles, not squares. Don't here get out of the school, what is it, outside the circle. Well, you probably do. But it's
inclusive.
About, it's about curves. Some cases more than others. Anyway, it's super exciting for us to have brought all these wonderful women together. We're really sorry for those women that we wanted to have here, but we couldn't get to, couldn't communicate with.
I'm watching about John the FE.
Oh, we're gonna wrap up now, Ling.
Yeah.
Sorry, we can talk about that perhaps another time. We've been talking for a long time.
Yeah.
So thank you all very, very much for being here.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Pleasure.
And let's do this again.
Yes.
I also wanted to let people know, sorry, we never get to say goodbye. I also wanted to let people know that each and every one of these women in the room are available for speaking at your event.
Oh,
Yes, we are.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Right, bye Facebook.